you're dealing with a commodity that may have a finite lifespan. I mean, but you guys get it from all over the world. And I've been told that the quarry has, another 100 years worth of granite there. But how is the supply? Are you able to find the product that you need for your customers?
That's a great question, Randy. I'm going to answer it in two different ways. So we have diversified into other products other than just granite, or what we would consider natural stone. Natural stone is marble, slate, soapstone, granite, quartzite, things like that. That's what we're going to consider natural stone that is going to be quarried out of the earth. And then there's, most of you have maybe heard of a product called quartz. It's kind of confusing. That's an engineered product. And so that is very, very popular, which actually we probably about half of our business is this engineered product. And then we've diversified ourselves into other surfaces. We're really a surface company, not necessarily a granite company. So we're prepared if the trends change. There's one product that I didn't even mention that we use pretty much in most hospital settings and medical office settings, is a product called solid surface, which is a name brand you might recognize called Corian. That was the product in the early 90s. That was the hot. That's still here, and we manufacture that as well. It's 100% acrylic. So,
right.
So we're trying to diversify as best we can to keep up. And so did that answer? I think I was going to answer the second part of the question, but I forgot what I was going to say, Randy.
Hey, Joe asked whether you guys do concrete now, which seems to be a popular option for homeowners.
Concrete is gaining a little more steam. We looked at that about 10 years ago and chose not to participate in that surface, but that is back on the table a little bit. I have been thinking about that. It's labor intensive, and that's the reason that we chose not to do it several years ago. But it is really a neat product, and we're seeing a few more people asking for that. So again, I mentioned earlier, we're more of a surface company. We're really good at going out and measuring a countertop and coming back with a finished product and it fitting. That's kind of what we're good at. So
John from Extreme Marketing asks, have you seen a drop in demand? Because obviously people are doing more work at home, or how have you guys been impacted by the pandemic?
It's a great question. Wow, very scary. Honestly, we didn't know what to expect. How do we communicate with our customers? How do we communicate with our employees? I think we've done a pretty good job at that. We've been able to provide our customers with what we're doing. Early on, people were asking that question, and we realized that we need to have a written document. We need to have something that we can provide, and that really eased a lot of our customers' minds. So remember, we're going into their home. Strangers are coming into their home. We go in twice. We measure, and in a week to 10 days, we come back and are installing their countertop. So from that perspective, we did have some customers want to wait. Very few customers canceled their order, decided not to do it at all. But some just postponed a little bit. So if that happens, then that throws a wrench in everything else. Then that means we can't measure it, we can't fabricate it. So we did have about 6 weeks of trimming some hours a little bit. We did not lay anybody off. We didn't do any furloughs. And so we did see a little bit of a dip, but we did get through that. We are in explosion mode right now. So this is typically the busiest time of the year for us anyway. And those people who decided to wait on their project for the 5 or 6 weeks, they're ready to do it. And so we're in a great position, but it is a very stressful position. So so I'm grateful for that. I'd rather, so many other businesses are not in that position. So I'm very, very grateful for that. The employee side, you know, I think a lot of employees were very, very concerned about their safety. And we had an idea early on, you know, we're trying not to gather. You know, typically we gather together and I stand up on the podium or whatever and share the message that we need to share, or the department heads share that message in a group huddle. But we made videos and we made a link somehow. My marketing director, Jennifer Slate, was able to use YouTube. I'm not smart enough to use that. But she recorded a little 3 to 4 minute clip and posted this to a private YouTube link, and where employees could see that. And surprisingly, we got overwhelming thank yous and response from that. Even in some of, you know, fair amount of our evaluations recently, that was the thing that they brought up that they really liked the most, that we were able to communicate. And they could watch it again, you know. Maybe their spouse would say, "Now, you sure he said that? Yeah, watch it right here. This is what he said." So anyway, that was I feel like was a win, and our employees were able to have real-time information and for them to be transparent with them.
I'll expand a little on what Brian was saying. We're working on a series of recruitment videos that we can share with high school seniors and juniors so that they know what kind of jobs they might be looking for if they're going to be entering the workforce, or if they're interested in one of our internship programs. So it's wonderful to be able to show them, because God knows kids these days are visual. You got to catch them where they live. So that's one project that Brian was referring to as a video piece about that, different job descriptions. And then the other is a new initiative we're launching on social media that will air the first Wednesday of every month. We've committed to now through the end of 2020, but it just was a way that I came up with of hopefully providing relevant, helpful content to people. It's called Wellness Wednesdays, sponsored by Johnson Granite. And we're offering easy tips, tricks, and things that people can incorporate into their lives to help us not only survive in 2020, but maybe actually thrive. So it's something that we really are hoping to catch a foothold. We appreciate everyone's support. If that's something that you're into, subscribe to our YouTube channel or like us on Facebook or Instagram so that you can catch these segments. They're once monthly.